Look at this extreme ass lighting we got going on. We gotta fix that. You know, in The Office when Michael Scott answers his phone and he says a bunch of weird shit and Pam won't put the person on who called until he gets a few tries in because he's awkward as hell. That's how I am when I start these videos. It takes a few different tries until I get something that's not super cringeworthy, and then it always ends up being somewhat cringeworthy, but not as bad. But anyways, I have a lot of video footage that I could technically compile into a video, but I don't want to. I have like Yosemite footage and family stuff and whatever, but I just honestly just kind of want to talk to you guys. I always have a lot on my mind, and I don't really let it out with that many people. That many people. There's a few things that I want to talk about. First off, last weekend I went to a Slipknot show. If you don't know Slipknot, they're like a heavy metal, dark metal, metal-y band. I've been listening to them since like junior high or high school, and Blue surprised me with tickets a few months back, and they're one of my favorite bands. Being at the show and witnessing them, hello CLA, do you want to sit? Being at this show and seeing them in person, I was really overwhelmed with emotion in a good way. Hi. Oh no. Come here, sit down. I was really overwhelmed with emotion, and like Blue was kind of making fun of me because like I was tearing up most of the show, and the reason for it is like the past few years in my career, I've kind of been going through somewhat of an identity crisis. Entering the workforce, I kind of felt like I needed to dress a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way, and it kind of like censored who I really was and who I created kind of this identity when I was in college, and I liked a lot of dark, weird things. Like I'm naturally drawn to things that are unique, and you're so cute. I'm naturally drawn to things that are out of the norm for normal society. So watching Slipknot, it kind of reminded me that like I have this side of me that hasn't been brought out in a while, and Slipknot brought it out. Hi. Celia's looking at the maintenance worker. Going to the Slipknot show and seeing that everybody was wearing all black and I blended in with them was kind of a comforting feeling, because living in the Orange County, there's a lot of money, there's a lot of good-looking people, there's like a kind of a certain way of appearing, and I've always felt like I don't really belong here. So going to this show and seeing that everybody was kind of dressed in all black, and they're a little rough around the edges, like I love that. Like I consider myself kind of rough around the edges. So that was my Slipknot experience in a nutshell. Anyways, so Slipknot was amazing. I love them. Super grateful that I got to see them in person. So thank you, Blue, for getting me tickets. Good decision. Another thing that's fresh in my mind. Another thing I want to talk about. I am back on Patreon, not as a like content creator, but I'm back to support my friend, my girl, FRANNERD. We're not friends in person, we're not friends online, but I like to think of her as my friend. She's this incredible human being. She's like a freelance illustrator. She makes a ton of YouTube videos, and I've mentioned her before, but I used to support her on Patreon a while back, and money got too tight, so I had to stop. But I put my foot down, and this week I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna support Fran. If you're an artist, you gotta check out her YouTube videos. Like they're life-changing. They gave me confidence to kind of make YouTube videos. I mean, I was making YouTube videos before that, but like Fran made me feel passionate about it. Like seeing her kick ass on YouTube like made me want to post more, and that's, yeah. So I think if you like illustration, or if you just want to watch someone that's super chill, like go watch Fran. So another thing I want to talk about, and I don't know if I really want to talk about this, but I think I'm going to. So lately, the past few months or so, I've been getting more and more into spirituality. And I know that this is kind of like a sensitive, weird thing to talk about. And, you know, I've always heard like, you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion because it's always gonna offend someone. If you want to, like, this is your chance. Like, I don't wanna force you to hear what I have to say about religion or spirituality. Like, completely understand if you don't wanna see that side of me. Yeah, if you don't care, you don't want to hear it, check out my other videos. But I'm gonna dive a little into this. So a few months back, my mom and we saw a psychic, and I've posted about this on Instagram, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it face to camera and just kind of let it all out. So a few months ago, we saw a psychic, and my mom and I, and also my brother Jake, we have this kind of fascination with ghosts. They're mysterious. You don't know if they're real. I don't know. My mom and I have been wanting to see a psychic for a long time, and so we finally saw one. She came to visit me. We saw one in Tustin, and I just want to talk a little bit about my experience. I went first, and she basically she said, you know, can I hold an item of yours that you wear every day or you have with you every day? So I gave her my gold ring. Right away, I was feeling really overwhelmed. Like I felt like I could cry. And going in, like I didn't feel that way at all. I was fine, I was happy, whatever. But I felt like tired, and I kind of, like, I could sense that she was feeding off of my energy. Then she started talking, and you know, I told her my zodiac sign. I'm a Gemini, so I'm sure like the first few things that she said, that's based off of like the Gemini traits, so whatever. But right away she started talking about like something that, like, how would you know that? It was an argument that I had with someone, and like, how would you know that if there wasn't some weird shit going on, if you weren't psychic or whatever you are? So it kind of weirded me out a little bit, and from there, like, I went in with an open mind, and I was taking notes the whole time. So some other things she said that like really weighed heavy on my mind afterwards. She said that I was meant, like, my purpose in life is to be helping people, and right away I was like, yes. And it didn't ever occur to me, those words, but I've always known it. And so when she said that, I was like, fuck, yeah, I am. I've done a lot of research since then, and this keeps popping up as one of my main personality traits, is I want to help people, and I want to help them grow and be there for them as they pursue their goals. So that was trippy. She said that I need to karma cleanse. I have a lot of things that I'm holding on to from a past life, and I'm kind of on the fence with whether I believe in past lives. I want to believe in past lives, but I'm not sure. She said I was meant to have 2 kids if I wanted them. What else? Let me look at this notebook. She also said, I like wrote it all down. She said that I have a spirit angel, that I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, that I'm a leader, and I put everything out there and I make it happen, which I totally believe. So there's some stuff I want to skip over, but she said I was supposed to help others, and that I was supposed to do something in the medical field, which my mom talked to a psychic over the phone like years ago, and he said the same thing, that I was supposed to be in the medical field. And I know that's really broad, like you could tell a lot of people they're supposed to be meant for the medical field, but like I could see that. And I'm not in the medical field, obviously, and she said that I'm not where I'm supposed to be career-wise, and I do feel that way. And I asked her, like, I told her that, you know, whenever I set a goal for myself, I almost always get it. Like, it weirds me out that I'm always getting what I want. I asked her, like, why is that? Do I have some sort of ability? Like, what's going on with that? And she said it's because I'm very intuitive and insightful. And I have a purpose, and that's to help people. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. There was some other things too, but basically it got me thinking. You know, she mentioned like spirit guides, she mentioned chakras, all this stuff that I had no idea what any of it meant. And so since then I've been researching that kind of stuff. There was this one book that I came across recently that called out to me in a bookstore. It looks like it's an illustrated book, and it screams me, honestly. It's called Seasonal Soul by Lauren Aletta. The pages are they're just gorgeous. This book got me even further down the rabbit hole with like spirituality. So I've read a lot that your inner guidance will come through when you're meditating. The past few years I've been meditating a lot using the HEADSPACE app. I just do like free 3-minute, 5-minute, or 10-minute meditations, and I usually just do it just to calm down. So one day I was feeling really overwhelmed and, you know, confused about my path and myself and whatever. So I decided to go meditate. And when I meditate, they say you're supposed to like sit down and get in a comfortable position. I like to lay down. Whenever I'm sitting down, I could just feel my posture, and it's terrible. So I like to lay down flat. And this day in particular, I put on HEADSPACE and I listened to a 10-minute meditation through HEADSPACE, and then I decided that wasn't enough. I wasn't feeling relaxed. So I decided to YouTube guided meditations. And I found one that was about an hour long. I forgot what the title was. Something about like finding your purpose. So I was like, fuck yeah, that's what I want. So I started meditating, and I didn't really, you know, I was just relaxing. In the beginning, you're just relaxing and clearing your mind. And then about like, I don't know, 30, 35, 40 minutes into it, I started to visualize stuff like they say that you will. So this is gonna sound weird as shit, and I'm just warning you, if you're not into spirituality and shit, it's gonna sound like I'm fucking crazy. And I agree with you, it does sound crazy, but I'm not gonna write it off like it's incorrect. Like, I'm gonna give it a chance and pursue it and whatever, see what happens. So I'm gonna tell you about what I saw in my meditation. First thing that I saw was a cat, a brown, long-haired cat. And I could sense that it was a female cat. And she kind of looked like my mom's cat, but like in a more intense way, like a more badass cat. So I took that as, that's my spirit animal, because they say that you have those and they can come to you. And then I saw like a bunch of profile views of cats. It was fucking weird. I have no explanation for it. I wasn't thinking about cats when I started this, but there they were. So cats. And then I saw, oh God, it's so weird, you guys. And I kept asking like, career, like show me career. I had it in my head, like I need to know what my career path is. Like that was what I wanted to know. Out of nowhere, I saw this crystal clear image of me, and I looked like I was in my mid-30s. I kind of looked the same, but I like was dressed a little bit better. I was in a studio space. I had a huge window, lots of light, hardwood floors, I think. And then I had a Mac computer, like an iMac, and I had plants. Everything was super pretty. And then I saw that I was sitting there in an office chair holding a little baby boy, which is really weird because I haven't, when I think about careers, when I think about the next step where I want to be headed down, I haven't really been thinking about kids. I mean, our families ask Blue and I about kids all the time, when we're gonna have them, if we're gonna have them, not if, when we're gonna have them. And when I think about career, like all I can think about is like, I'll never be able to afford them in California. Like it's not gonna happen. So, I just saw a butterfly. So to see myself with a baby boy was kind of crazy because I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about my career, but seeing myself, I looked really happy in this image. I looked content. I looked I looked like I was a freelancer, like I was working from home doing something. I didn't know what. Didn't know if it was art or something else. But it's clear that I was like working from home or I had a home office. And it kind of clicked in my brain that my career kind of has a bigger purpose now that I'm throwing in the idea of having a kid. So yeah, it weirded me the fuck out, to be honest. It sounds fucking weird. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. If you don't believe in this shit, don't believe in this shit. But like I said, I'm not gonna write it off just in case it might be true. Like, even if it's me just like hallucinating or something, like that part of my brain is telling me like, that's a possibility and you could be happy doing that, being that person. So it's like my unconsciousness is telling me that that's what I want. So that's what's been on my mind. It's super vain and it's really self-absorbed, but I've always been very in tune with how I'm feeling, what my personality traits are, how I could be positively impacting the rest of the world. Like, it might be selfish focusing so much on myself, but I'm doing it for a bigger cause. Like, I want to be a good person to work with, to interact with. Like, I want to be a good person. If you know yourself, you're confident in your abilities, like, it's a lot better than someone that's not in tune with themselves at all and they're not empathetic towards other people. Where am I even going with this? I was talking about self-exploration. So I've been doing these quizzes. There was one in particular called The Good Life, which my coworker told me about. My results, I got the Warrior, which basically means that organizing, inspiring, and leading others is my call. Again, like, that's exactly what the psychic told me. I recommend taking that quiz, thegoodlifeproject.net, org, com, one of those. And also there's the Adobe Creative Types quiz. You could see what kind of creator you are, which is cool. I've been doing like some journaling, kind of figuring out what I'm being drawn to lately. I have a quote written down. I think it's a good exercise, but it says, I don't know where it came from, but it says, picture your evolved self sitting by a river. What do her days consist of? So what's your calling? Some other quotes that I wrote down. The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that you're following your passions and figuring yourself out and living your best life. So yeah, since we're talking about spirituality, have you guys ever had an experience with meditation that's kind of fucking weird like my experience? Have you seen a psychic? Have you had any like spirit animal moments? This all sounds really weird, I know. I feel like I can easily talk about this. I got new stickers on Etsy, guys. Let me show them to you real quick. Got the witchy woman lady, lion dude, plant lady, full body ostrich, ostrich head, Halloween queen, got the moth, deer lady, listen to your weirdo heart, wolf dude. I have a few others. Feel free to check out my Etsy shop if you want to see them. Yeah, I hope you somewhat enjoyed this weird chat that we've had. What's new with you guys? Is there any new hobbies that you're picking up or anything new happening that you're excited about? Let me know in the comments if you want. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I mostly post on those nowadays, so yeah. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.